Welcome back to another edition of TVT Nation. I'm Roman Vladimirsky, CEO of the Vladimirsky team. Today we're going to talk about the real estate agent's relationship with their seller and buyer clients.
So let's say like I'm a seller or buyer. I come to you. What's that first interaction like?
So the first interaction with a buyer or a seller is me trying to understand what are their goals in the transaction, whether they're buying or selling, what are their interests, and why are they buying, why are they selling, what's the motivation behind it. I also think it's very, very important before an agent takes a buyer or a seller out to see anything that you meet with them in an office setting or on a Zoom these days, or even a phone call, just to understand what they're looking for and to understand if your personalities will work well together. Because, you're working with these people for, 3 to 6 months. Sometimes you talk to them more than you talk to your own families, and it's their hard-earned money at stake, money that they've been saving for a very long time, or a house they've been living in for a very long time. With some people, it's their only asset. So you have to make sure that you're the right fit.
How do you connect with like a seller or buyer on a personal level?
Well, you know me, Mike, and people who've been watching these videos and people who know me personally know, like, I'm always going to be myself. I'm not somebody who, always wears a suit and tie to my appointments. I'm very straightforward. And the way that I believe I connect with my clients is that I don't always necessarily tell them what they want to hear, right? I tell them how it is. I present the facts. I present the evidence to whatever the situation may be. And I think they appreciate that, Like, for example, when I'm walking through a house with a buyer, if I see a clear deficiency in the house, I'm going to say, hey, there's the crack in that foundation right there. You might want to, keep an eye on that or keep that in mind. Whereas some other realtors might just go in there and say, oh, don't worry, that's just something you could fill in with some paint. It's not a problem. No worries. So I am myself. I tell it how it is. And I think a lot of buyers and sellers appreciate that.
So like, what's your opinion on real estate agents who put on that facade where they're like, hey, I'm going to make this the best transaction in the world. Like, I'm going to make sure that you hear everything you want to hear. Like, what's your opinion on that?
So you mean the people who present the world but give them an island, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not, I don't think that that's the best practices. I feel like you have to keep people's expectations at bay, right? Tell them that, look, I want to get you this, but it may not happen, right? Just be honest, be upfront. Your fiduciary duty is to the client. It's not about you. It's not about your pockets or how much money you're going to make. Even if it's not working out with a client, you have to be ready to say, like, hey, it's not working out, because it's not about you. Like I said, it's about the buyer. It's about the seller. It's about the client.
So have you ever fired someone?
Yes. I have terminated relationships with buyers and sellers because it came to the point where I realized that our relationship, and don't get me wrong, they were all great people. Our personalities just didn't mesh. And I realized that our relationship became a hindrance to either the sale of their house if it was a seller, or the purchase of the house if it was a buyer. Because as I said earlier, it's not about me, it's not about the money. I felt that it was better for them to work with someone else.
And that's just more like on a professional level. Like, as on a personal level, you're still friends with these people. Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And because we're still friends, and on a personal level, I just did them the courtesy of saying this relationship isn't working out on this level right now. If you have any questions on how to deal with your buyer or seller clients, please comment below. We'll get right back to you. Like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos, and we'll see you next time.